child, mama used to say, you better take your woman by the hand, you won't let her slip away. Good loving is hard to find, but don't find it every day, yeah, yeah. Don't let good loving slip away, no, 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 no way. Yes, I have in my head, think I'm losing my mind. Said I got a little lady as well, she thinks I'll leave her behind. Oh, it happens all the time. Then I hear these words in the back of my mind. Listen up, child, mama used to say, you take your woman by the hand, you won't let her slip away. Oh no, good loving is hard to find, you don't find it every day, every day. Don't let good loving all slip away. No, mama, yeah.
Hello, friends, and welcome to part 3 of our celebration of the life and music of Matthew Bradley here on Unsung Heroes. I'm Chris Gordon for DJB Productions, and I am very excited to welcome our next guest, who I have been a fan of for years, the man who has been the engine behind Matt's music and continues to be the engine behind many other bands that we'll talk about in this interview. I want to introduce you to the Dreem Cannon. There he is. That is the man right there. And there is a lot to talk about with you. I have been a fan of your playing since I first heard you back with Matt Bradley. And there's a lot I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to start at the beginning, which is something that I find very important. So where did the name happen? I think that a lot of listeners want to know that right off the bat. Where did the Dreem come from? Where did that name happen?
A couple of chicks said that they had a dream about me. And I said, Dreem, that sounds like a cool name. I think I'll call myself Dreem.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah. I got a chick. Chick said she had a dream about me. And I was good, I guess. And I said, I just keep the name. But I won't spell the regular name. I'll spell Dreem with 2 E's and make it my own.
That's correct. Like, so it's not Dreem, it's DREEM.
Yeah, to make it my own, you know.
But, you know, I always refer to you as the Dreem, which
no,
to me,
it's just Dreem.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get that. But, you know, whenever someone refers to your drumming, they're like, oh, you got to get the Dreem on this track. You know, that's, you know, the kind of brings that to life. So let's jump in.
Okay.
Where did it all begin for you? Where did it happen for you as a drummer?
Years ago, I guess I was like 18, 19 years old. My first gig was playing country western, believe it or not.
Really?
I've been in country western for a long time. And that's my first paying gig. That's my first professional musician, because I was getting paid to play the drums. So we was talking like back in like, I don't know, 80, 82, 80.
Wow. Okay.
Back then.
And how did that happen? Where did that happen? Where, like, when you started playing the drums, what drew you to the drums, and what?
My grandfather was a drummer.
Okay.
And he gave me my first drum set. He gave me his drums. And then I said, well, I want to be a drummer, so I want to learn everything. So I started out with the gospel, and then the R&B, funk, and then the rock came along. And then I figured, oh, I really like this rock because the drummer shows when you're playing rock,
Right.
So I was listening to cats like, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, typical rock bands just still happening today, something with a pocket.
So what are
And of course, I know all the other stuff because I wanted to be a professional drummer. I wanted to be able to play all types of music. So from jazz to gospel to, hard rock, and so on and so on.
So one of the things that I've always noticed about your playing, even going back to when I first heard you with Matt, and it's interesting that you bring up Led Zeppelin because you were the first drummer I heard that exhibited that behind the beat thing on the snare, where it was just behind the beat, where it just delivered this power, this intensity that I found really intense. And
That's from listening and studying from John Bonham.
So it was the Bonham.
Yeah. Even I met his son, Jason. He gave me the most ultimate compliment. He said, you sound a lot like my old man.
Wow.
So awesome.
That's heavy. That's some heavy stuff. So you got started through your grandfather.
Yes.
And where did that develop? What was your first band? Where was the beginnings for you? Like in terms
of the beginning? With the rock or?
No, just in general. Like where's the point where you're like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm going to go out and,
Well, at the beginning was playing in a gospel, backing up my mother. She was a piano player. So, I started playing for her, but I wasn't getting any money. But now I joined this. I was in a rock and roll band, and the lead singer, her father, was the lead singer of the country band. And she said that, my father needs a drummer for the night. Can you do it? And I'm like, yeah. He said, he'll pay you. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, So I went in there, like don't know any country tunes. I just went in there with my flavor and just followed him. And then I've been booked playing with him for several years, off and on. His name was Lloyd Lee, and the band was Lloyd Lee and the Rebels. And it's a funny thing. He had a rebel flag, and I asked him, could you not hang up the rebel flag while I'm playing? And he started laughing. He said, okay, all right. He had an Alabama accent and everything. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
And he's still around to this day. We still talk and everything.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He needs me to play drums. I just go over there and play drums for him. Because he's still playing. He's still playing a little bit, He's an old man now. He's semi-retired.
So what was your experience, your first experience with Matt Bradley? Was this with the David Knight?
Yes.
Okay.
David Knight brought me in and Matt Pratt. Well, I discovered David Knight. We went to school together.
Okay.
So I said, man, you can sing, and then I started kicking around with Dave in a band called Zeno. It was the name of the band.
Okay.
And then Dave branched off, wanted to try other things. Then he hooked up with Matt Bradley. I think they were in a band called Syntax.
That's right.
So he hooked up with that. And then, Matt was having problems with, I think his name was Bob Duane, he's a really good friend of mine now. I think Bob Duane left or whatever. They were falling out. And then Matt asked me to, sit in. And I saw Matt play. I'm like, man, this guy is awesome. He's really, really talented. And I'm like, I need to hold on to him if I want to go further in. need to stick by him. And then I got Dave that could sing. So I'm like, I'm going to try to hang on to this gig, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had a good time playing. It was all fun and everything. And, you know, it was all good. You know, it was a good group.
Now,
You
was
know?
that still a Mask moniker?
Yeah, that was Mask.
That was still Mask. So you
That was
were
Mask.
involved with that. Okay.
Yes.
So that leads me to my next question, which is your contributions to that. Now, was this Mask or Sunset Strip? This I need to clarify.
This was strictly Mask. It was
Okay.
strictly Mask. Matt just played guitar.
So he wasn't singing yet.
No, he wasn't singing yet. It was me, Matt, Dave, and Billy. And I think we had a keyboard player. I think his name was Chris.
Okay.
Chris Warner, I think his name
Yeah,
was.
Chris Warner, who was my first interview on this series. Yeah.
He's a great guy, really nice guy.
Phenomenal.
The band was real. We all got along. We were like brothers, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was. I think Chris came on later on, but Matt was pretty much me, Matt, and Billy and Dave.
Okay.
And we wrote some songs. We put out an album together and everything. And one of the tunes was like "Hassled by a Fat Bitch." Everybody liked that too. That sticks out.
Which one? Which one? Hassled?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what a great song.
and Matt even at that time I was still called Tyrone, so Matt even used my real name in the middle of the song.
Okay.
You know, when it breaks down and you know we're talking and everything. So you know, and then I guess what I can remember, I Sunset Strip came about and said I think Matt and Dave were like butting heads about music. Or Dave wanted to pursue other things. So I don't know. Matt presented me and Bill some kind of music. This guy singing. We knew it was Matt playing guitar. We didn't know who was the singer. So Matt asked me and Bill, like, what do you think of this singer? You know? I said, man, he can sing. He's pretty good, you know? And Bill said the same thing. He's pretty good, you know? And Matt told us it was him. I said, oh, man, you can sing too?
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And then, you know, that's how Sunset Strip became. He started writing and he started playing. And I'm telling you, man, he's really, really talented guy. One of the best players that I work with. I work with a lot of players, you know. He's at the top 5, you know.
So that brings me to this. That brings me to this thing, which is a piece that you basically wrote this song, and it happened.
Yeah.
And we're going to show this. We're actually going to show this on video, which is fantastic. We're going to show a little bit of it, and it was you had a melody that you called Matt. This is okay, kids. I got to talk to the kids.
That's how tuned in. That's how tuned in we were as a unit, you know. I had a melody, and I called Matt, and I think I left it on his answering machine.
You left it on his answering machine. And for the young listeners out there who don't know what answering machines are, they were an actual machine. They were a machine, and it was great because you could record from that machine, and that's exactly what Matt did. And in his genius, he recorded you with this. But here's the thing that I found fascinating before we launch into this video, which I need to speak on because it was such an education to me as a musician, was that you did not come in on the one.
Right.
You came in on the end of one. And it changed my paradigm as a musician. And that's why you're such an influence on me, is that the one, it's nice to know where it is, but it means nothing in terms of, so we're going to go to the video right now. Danny's going to take us there. And this is the video of a live show from 1990 at the Red Garter in Clifton,
Wow.
where Matt introduces you. Oh, I got more than that for you today, Dream.
Wow.
But we're going to start with this. So fire that up, my man. We're going to check out this video.
Dream Speaks. Don't tell a soul what I've been up to. What is you? Get up there doing something good. How you down for, huh? Yeah! I'm jerking off when the power's down and no one calls. I live my life to save the day. But in the meantime, same old shit and different day. Nothing happened anyway. Nothing new and nothing special. Same old proof. Different day. Whoa!
Now I have to ask.
Ah,
Yeah. How awesome is that?
that was Dave playing guitar, Chris's brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot he was in Sunset Strip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Dave on guitar, you know, probably
Yeah, Matt.
if
Matt
not
fronted the band.
probably the only guitar player that could handle Matt's rhythms
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he's
keep
good. He's really
and
good.
keep up with you. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I loved about that track was, and this goes back to me being a fan of yours. I've been a fan of yours for years. I've always just absolutely loved everything you've ever done. And that 16 note rhythm on the hi-hat and then come in on that snare, and you always seem to find that space in the snare where it's like, here's the, like, if I was to give you that space in the beat, you'd be right here. It's like, and it just
Right.
delivered that, which of course has been your
My
signature.
thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
your
it's my
thing.
pocket. Yeah,
It's your pocket. You know what I
my
mean?
pocket. I got a big pocket.
You got to be.
Everybody loves it. I love my big pocket. At 2 and 4 is big.
It's massive, and you make it
Yeah.
that way, and you always have. So, when you first got together with Matt, was that with David, or was that like when you came into that fold?
It was
How
with
did that
David
happen?
Knight. It was with David Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, and me and Matt hit it off from the get-go. He liked my pocket too. He knew there was something there, and I liked his talent. And I wish he was still around, because we probably would be working together now.
I agree.
So,
I believe that as
we
well.
would still be working together, because we love each other as brothers and everything. But he went on and did his thing, but he always came back to me. You know what I mean? Until he went out to LA.
Well, one of the
lost
things that I kind of picked up from him when I worked with him in Los Angeles was that even when he went to his drum programming, that he was quoting you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were one of the first drummers I ever heard that, you got the groove, and then you would hit that kick right after that.
Yeah,
And
he copied me. He did a good job of copying my feel.
Yeah.
How
you were really the genesis of that feel that he created with that. So while we're on the subject of this,
it's weird that you say that, because he would be like, "Look, listen to this," and I'm like, I'm listening to it, right? Just my idea comes up where I'm like, "Yo, I don't remember playing that," and he said, "You did." I said, "That sounds like me. What are you talking about?" He said, "No, that's me imitating you,
Right.
I said, wow, you got me down. I was laughing. I said, you don't even need me now.
Well, no, I mean, in the long run, he did, but
Yeah, I
that's
know.
the ultimate compliment is
Yeah.
to be able to go to an outside apparatus and say, I hear this, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I only heard that because of Dream, and you were that guy, you know, that
Yeah.
going back to the backbeat, going back to
Yeah.
the 16th note rhythm on the hi-hat,
Yeah.
all these kind of like, there was this amazing connection between these musicians that were creating this kind of vibe that really wasn't around until
Right.
you guys created this. You
Mhm.
created this vibe that was like, and so, and I can tell you firsthand, every guy that was at a drum machine was doing Dream, or they were attempting
Trying
it.
to.
No, they
Yeah,
were
right.
attempting Dream, and
Uh-huh.
it you can't replace the real thing. And
Mhm.
there's so much more I want to talk to you about, because you went on to do so much other
Yeah.
things
But,
that I want to get to, and we're going to get to. But what I want to spend a minute on is your favorite Matt Bradley story, your favorite Matt Bradley experience. Just share with us
oh
what it
man,
was
we
like
just
to work with
did.
him.
Oh, it was awesome to work with Matt. He was always like he made it fun. He would turn around, he smiled, and and when he played his guitar, and it just it was just really good to work with him. It was really good. I miss him to death. Um, he knew everything. Well, he knew about everything, and he tried everything. And he tried to make sure that everything fit perfectly. And he's a great producer. He would have been a great producer if he's still around. Uh, my favorite thing about working with Matt is I don't have a really favorite. It's all good. Every gig went well good. Rehearsals, I love to rehearse with him. It was just playtime for me when I was around him when we tried to create music.
So,
Um,
so if I may,
yeah.
let's talk about the rotating chairs, because there's another video I want to show, with a great
Okay.
song called "I Hate Metal"
Uh,
that you sang on. I was
Yeah.
at that show. That's why I'm showing it, because I was at that show. And like I said,
Okay.
Dream, I've been a fan of yours, and I've been a fan of Matt's, but
Uh-huh.
it was so amazing to watch this experience where the band did a rotation,
Uh-huh.
and you got out behind the drum kit and
Right.
sang. Right. So we're going to show that right now. This is Dream singing "I Hate Metal." So let's check this out real quick.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Matt got me out front. That was the first time really singing out front. And originally, David Knight was singing that tune, "I Hate Metal."
Okay.
And he didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, man, let me try singing it. So I tried singing it and with my own version of it. You know what I mean? The way I would sing it. And I was like, cool. And then Matt said, you want to come out in front? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, hey, come out front, make it, make it your own. Have a good time with it. So I went out front, and there you have it, man.
That was awesome. And then you hit these high notes. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, that's from me.
Dream is doing
Judas
Matt
Priest.
Bradley.
Yeah, I did Matt Bradley, but I was thinking of Rob Halford, how he would sing it, from Judas Priest.
But I love the whole idea behind it, which was like this hard rock band singing a song called "I Hate Metal," and it was so ahead of it. It was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's so ahead of its time. It's like, and that was the beautiful thing about the band. All of you, was that you were these phenomenal musicians that had your tongue planted in your cheek, and you're like, we can do all of this, and we're going to do it. And there was never a moment where any of us felt that you were degrading the genre, but at the same time, you were.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
We were doing it. We was playing metal, and we saying that we hate metal. We was doing it, and we playing it, and we sounded pretty good at it. It was a joke, though. But it turned out,
it was tongue in cheek, and it was wonderfully done, constantly wonderfully done.
Thank you.
As everything that you do, and like I said, as I've said at the beginning of the show, I was at that show, and that was my exposure to you, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is like, and that's when I understood the canon, because it was like, so I want to move forward into your time with Ron Tagg, I'm a fan of his, and you went on to work with Ron.
I'm still working with him today.
No, I know you do.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about your initial. So after Sunset Strip,
yes,
where were you, and how did Ron come into your life?
Well, Ron has always been there, and he's always in now. I've been with Ron since we were kids, man, in our early 20s. Writing and jamming and everything. But I would go on and play other groups because Ron had a problem about playing out, and he was happy playing in. And then eventually he started playing out, Okay. I tried talking to him and said, Ron, you should play out, man, make some money. He didn't want to do what everybody else was playing, you know what I mean, the cover thing. So Ron's kind of he wants to do his thing, and that's it, But he's a great guy. He's a great friend. He's like my best friend. And when you play with Ron, you just got to know your place. And I know my place when I'm in there with Ron. So, he pretty much calling the shots, but I can give him advice, and he'll listen to it. And sometimes he'll take it, and sometimes he says, well, I'd rather do it this way. And I say, okay, it's cool. But he never tells me how to play my drums. He likes my flavor. He likes my pocket. Like we talked about that earlier.
Yep.
He loves my pocket, and he can work with somebody what's got a strong pocket to make melodies and stuff like that. So, Ron Tagg is Ron Tagg, and I'm just helping him for less, But I love to play with him. And we also the best of friends outside of music.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's like, we're family. He's like my white brother, That's
awesome.
We argue. Sometimes we argue like we're a married couple sometimes, So, he's like my best friend and everything. And, it's like I love that dude with all my heart. I would do anything for him,
So that brings me to Whiskey Grin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My new brothers.
Yeah. So now Ron Tag produced that record and engineered it, right?
Yeah, the engineer. Yep. I'm in a studio with all my brothers.
Okay.
It was so awesome.
So we're talking about
Yeah.
John Tidwell and Jim Mayberry, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's a great record.
Thank you.
I
Thank
was
you. We
gifted.
worked
I
hard
was
on it.
gifted that record at the Yacht Stock show that you guys were on. That was the last time we saw each other before quarantine.
Right.
And it was a pleasure to see you there. And yeah, so we have the this amazing album that it's in my CD player. And
Oh, cool. Cool.
it was produced and engineered by Ron Tag.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's just amazing. You know, it's just a great
Thank
record.
you, man. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
are you? So, it's a trio, and you guys
Yes.
are you guys writing together? You know, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
So, tell me a
Yes,
little bit
we are.
about
We're
that.
all writing together.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about
What's
it.
the writing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything.
Everything. Well, I first saw the guy. I'm not the original member of Whiskey Grin. I saw them struggling with a drummer.
Okay.
And then I did my research on them. I found out that they've been friends for a long time, since childhood, since they were kids. So they already like brothers. I said, man, if I could get in that, because I kind of get along with everybody. I don't want to get in a band that's going to be deep and there's no attitudes, you know. I've been there, you know, I've done that, you know. So I asked Jimmy's girlfriend if she could talk to him, see if I could get an audition.
Wow.
And they looked at me like, audition? You know, I said, yeah, I would like to
There's
audition.
no reason for
you know,
an audition with Dream.
Like,
Really? It's
yeah,
like it's
that's
a
the way
phone
they
call.
looked
It's
at
like
me.
Dream wants to
That's the
play
way they
drums
look-
for you. Okay.
That's-
Thank you.
That's the look they gave me, like auditions. Like, you don't need to audition. But I wanted to do it professional and whatever.
Whatever.
To see if
Look.
we can-
If you were to call me, I'm sorry to interrupt, and I'm going to let you finish, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
If someone called me and said Dream wants to play drums for you, I'd be like, we're done here. This is going to happen. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, and
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
Go ahead. So, all right.
So,
you
you know,
auditioned,
they say, okay.
which was like a waste
we
of
auditioned.
time because all you had to do was say, I'm Dream, baby. Hold on. I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to go full on here. I'm Dream, baby. You want to hear that backbeat? Like, if I was a member of Whiskey Grin, I'd been like, we're done here. Like, he's the guy. All right. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did the audition, and we hit it off real good. They never played with a drummer like me that just kept it together. And John, the singer, because he played bass too,
Right.
he just looked back at me and smiled, and then Jimmy smiled. It was like magic. You know, we just got along. We fit.
I'm sorry. Is
My
that a
pocket was
surprise?
there.
Is that a surprise? I'm sorry.
But I've been with the group for 5 years, man. We write together. They come up with stuff. I pretty much piece it together to make it a song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They come up with melodies and music, and I would piece it together for the most part. So we all have our hands in the writing. You know.
So
And it's all good, man.
when you were in the studio recording the record, which is a great record, I have it.
Thank you.
It's in my CD player. It's on rotation. I love the record.
Thank you.
But Ron Tag, was he a co-producer? But he was also an engineer.
Yeah.
I know he engineered the record.
Engineer. He co-produced some stuff. You know, he really helped Jimmy out with the guitar playing.
Right.
Showing ideas here and there. You know, and you know, he threw ideas with me and John too, stuff like that. You know. he did it. Ron Tagg did a really, really good job on this record. You
Oh, of
know,
course.
he worked hard on it. We all worked hard on it, and I think the record sounds great.
Oh, it's an
I
amazing
can put it
record.
up with anybody else's other record, and it's like we're right up there with them. You know.
No, it's ridiculous. The production on it,
He killed it.
the songs are great. The playing is fantastic, and
Yeah, it's all good.
you guys are even in the midst of all of this stuff. You guys are still
And when it's all, we all brothers, man, all locked in together. Like it was like one brother, help out another brother, help out another brother, help out another. You know, that's all
Now-
my family there. You know.
I have one last question on the Matt Bradley thing. Do you
Okay.
bring any of the Matt Bradley stuff into Whiskey Grin?
No, because Matt Bradley. I mean, I love Jimmy, I love John, I love Ron, but Matt Bradley is on a different level. You know what I mean? It's like there's only one Matt Bradley. You know, and it's hard to, you can't compare Matt with anybody because he's got his own thing. He got his own sound. He's got his own groove, his own vibe, and you can't replace that. Matt's gone. That's it. You know, he can't be replaced.
Right.
I'm finding that there's no other guitar player you may need to say some stuff that might sound like it, but there's no other guitar player that's the way in my eyes. It's like, Matt can't be replaced.
That was a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I truly miss him today,
Oh no, we all do.
Yeah.
We miss him heavily. And but it's awesome that you're still out there doing your thing. And an integral part of this band. And you guys are going to be performing this, Saturday tonight. At let's see, it's a drive-in concert, Rhythm and Wheels, right?
Yes.
On Black Horse Pike. I think I have the address here so people
Williams
can
Chapel.
make sure they see this. You guys are on at what time? 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, 6 p.m. Okay, very good. So it's it's in Monroe Township, 1351 North Black Horse Pike. You check out Whiskey Grin. If you don't have the album, I strongly suggest you get it. It's an amazing record. Killer stuff. And of course, it's the Dream playing the drums. Look, Dream, I'm going to pontificate for a minute. I'm going to take this time to pontificate. When I heard you play, I realized what a drummer was. I realized what the groove was. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it stayed with me throughout my life. And I can't I can't stress enough how much of an influence you've been on me as a writer and as someone who has driven my drummers to the 9th level of hell. Because I always say, listen to Dream. Listen to the Dream. And I can't.
What I do, it's really easy too. You just gotta love to play pocket, and then fill in and out of the pocket,
But I can't thank you enough for your contribution to the inspiration to us as musicians, and you're the guy, you're the dude.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I'm the dude.
I try to be the guy.
Well, you're always the guy. You're the Dream. And
I try to do it and have a good time with it.
And I appreciate your time and thank you. I want to sign off with your favorite Matt Bradley story.
Oh my God. I don't have a favorite one.
Oh man, I don't care. Pick one.
God.
Go deep. Go deep into
I'm thinking.
a memory.
I'm thinking. Oh, it was good, man. Oh, at this one time, I believe this one time we played. I had drum problems. I think I broke a snare drum, and we was flying around to get another snare drum. And Matt decided to take a guitar solo,
Okay.
and it was so good that I already had the drum on there. I didn't even tell him I was ready to play. I just let him kept playing, and he was pulling it all off, Eddie Van Halen and all kinds of stuff. And it was so good. And I let him go for about, 10 minutes,
Wow.
10, 15 minutes. And he was just wailing, he was feeling it, and it was just, and everybody just was screaming. And then I go into the mic, I said, I'm ready, but I don't think I want to play now. I don't want to play after that, where I started laughing or whatever. I made a comment like how can I play after that guitar solo,
Nice.
So, and he never does it. He never does a guitar solo. So he did that to cut time, so I could get another drum to put in there because I broke a snare drum or I don't know, snare drum or foot pedal or whatever.
Right.
And he decided to take a guitar solo and he killed it. He killed it. He laid it all on the line.
That's awesome.
And to the point I wasn't even worried about whatever that was broken. He just got my attention, and I just like, wow, this guy's really killing it. He's killing it. So that's one of the memories I can remember of Matt, how he like kept everything going, kept the audience up after the drums were down. Nine times out of 10, any other guy would just like, come on, Jimmy, hurry up, or try to talk, or lose the crowd. Where Matt made it like it was in the set. You know what I mean? Like it was a set for me to have a drum problem so he could play a guitar solo. So he kept the crowd into it. You know what I mean?
He made it a part of a show.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dream, I can't tell you how honored I am to spend this time with you. And thank you so much for your input. And like
You're
I
welcome, Chris.
said, you were a huge influence on me. And every drummer that I deal with is under your shadow. And and as they should be, because you've earned it beyond. You're the master of the groove. And you did.
Thank you.
You designed it, and I still live by it. So thank you so much for your time. And,
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And remember, tonight, Saturday night,
Yes.
Black Horse Pike.
There you go.
You want to hear
Be
Dream
safe.
live? You want to hear the Dream experience? You better be there. It's
There
going to
you go.
happen. Matter of fact, I have the address here. It's the Monroe Township, Monroe Township, New Jersey, 1351 North Black Horse Pike. The band performs Whiskey Grin with the one and only The Dream. Let me put it this. I'm going to put it to you this way. I'm going to end this show with this. Once you hear The Dream play, you're going to make babies.
Get out.
No, it's going to happen. Once you hear that groove, you're going to go home and you're going to make babies. We're going to have a whole new generation. Thanks to Dream and Whiskey Grin. And Dream, I'm going to sign off by saying thank you for
you're very welcome.
your influence on me and countless other people. But I can't stress enough how important you've been on my development as a musician. It's heavy. It's heavy because I wouldn't be the player I am if it wasn't for you, and if it wasn't for Matt who constantly talked about you. You know, you're the guy, man.
I miss
You're the
Matt
dude.
dearly.
You're the
I
dude.
try to be the dude, but Matt's the man. I try to be the dude. Matt's the man.
Well, you
Rest his
you
soul.
created the groove that made
Yeah.
Matt what he was. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time tonight. I much
No
appreciate it.
problem. I had a good time, man.
Yeah, it's hopefully that's what it's all about. That's having a good time. But thank you, my man.
You're welcome, sir.
You are the man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. You stay safe.
You too.
All right.
Peace. If you or someone you love is struggling right now, especially in these difficult times, please know that there is help and there is hope. Please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. You have so much to share, and we want you to stick around.